Hey guys, welcome to another round of the Twister Cup tournament, and today I'm gonna be streaming a legendary match. We're gonna start it off with R2K versus the second team of Legion, and then we're gonna finish it off with R2K versus the first team of Legion. So a lot of Legion versus R2K, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be absolutely wicked. So I'm hoping you guys are as excited about this as I am. This is the current standings. In the first place we have Legion with 2 points, tied with R2K with 2 points. Then we have Res, Legion 2, Easy and Raid all with 1 point. And at the bottom we have Loka and First with 0 points. But we've seen in the standings that Loka actually got really close to winning twice, so it's definitely not outplayed yet, and I'm very curious what will happen today, because after today you will see a much bigger difference in standings, I think. It's gonna be really exciting and really entertaining, and I honestly can't wait for these matches. They're gonna be awesome. In the meantime, this time I chose the Haven to show off in the garage because it's just so darn cute. And for now I just have to wait until the tournament room pops up, which will be either now or... there it is! Oh, what timing. So I'm gonna ready up to make sure that I can't forget that. And we're just gonna wait a little bit. We have R2K already fully into the room. I think they were waiting for it as well. Whereas Legion 2 is not yet there, or at least we can't really see them yet, because I have a feeling that they will be there. They've just not gone into it yet. And yeah, it's like I said, it's gonna be like the Battle of the Titans, Clash of the Titans, however you want to call it. Not necessarily this one, but definitely the second round that we have tonight. But this match should also be really interesting, because the other team has quite some players that used to be in R2K and aren't there anymore, so the fact that they're familiar could either work in their advantage or in their or against them. So that's definitely going to be interesting as well. So overall, this is just going to be one of those nights where you're like, oh my god, what just happened? And I, for one, am feeling quite nervous, even though I'm not even the one playing. So I quite like that. I think that's quite funny. And we're just gonna see what happens. And I see that Blue Steel has actually picked a Chieftain MK6, and that's the first time that I've seen one of those. So that should be fun. I always wondered if that tank was considered competitive or not, because in random battles it is amazing and I absolutely adore it. But I've never known whether or not it's actually competitive enough to work in Clan Wars. So yeah, that's definitely something to keep in mind, and definitely something to keep my eye on, basically. On the other hand, we have quite a bit of armor, with 2 mice, an E3, 2 WZ, well, 3 WZ113s, and a Batchat. Probably Batchat for spotting and the rest for holding and murdering everything. While on R2K side we do have a mouse. We have 2 IS4s, a 113, a Batchat, the Chieftain, and the 268. There's probably still going to be some changing around because we still have 2.5 minutes left to go, but it should definitely be interesting with these tank matchups. Because that's one of the things that always keeps amazing me. Tanks that I feel would or would not work or don't work. And same thing with tactics, on where they go and what they do. And that's actually one of the things that makes it so much fun to commentate for me. Because I like being able to have basically a front row seat. I like being able to share my thoughts, because we all know women like talking a lot. And that's basically what I do. And in this case, it's interesting. I really like the tactics. Just not this, but tactics overall in the game. That's why I love Supremacy mode so much. Because it's a lot more tactical than Encounter. You have to think about a lot more things than just your own position. So I'm very interested in all of that. And being able to do this, being able to commentate and to see what the teams do and to basically deduce what they're going to do, that's one of the things that I absolutely love. Seeing what is needed and wondering whether or not they will be able to actually do it. Because that's always the tricky part. You never know if one of the teams is going to make the push they need to make in time. If they're going to cap the bases they need to cap in time. If they have the right focus fire, etc. It's tricky for the teams, but also for me to see, because sometimes I'm like, oh my god, you should have done And they can't have done that, because otherwise they would have. But yeah, it's cool, and I'm just currently waiting for YouTube to help. And now I'm just waiting for that to let me start streaming, because YouTube doesn't always help with that. But overall it's quite fast, and I hope that it will actually show everything that I've been talking about when I actually start streaming. And I'm just waiting for... There we go. Now we're actually live. And there we go. And now we're 30 seconds into waiting for the game to start. Just because before I forget, in the description of the video is a link. You have to watch through the portal if you want to twist the coins. If you click in the game to the YouTube thing, you go to YouTube rather than to the portal, but you have to watch it through the portal to get the twist the coins. So now we're 12 seconds away. We have the definite lineups with the 2 IS4s on R2K side with the 113, the Patchat, and Chieftain, MK6, 268 and Mouse, and on the other side we have 2 Mice, E3, some 113s and a Patchat. So these are gonna be wicked games, and I can't wait. Really interesting to see how this goes. So I just have to wait for the game to actually begin. Yeah, let me know if everything is alright, because I know some of the things can be changed because of the bug and everything.
Let's get this show on the road.
Just eyes up, and we're gonna see what happens. We have R2K focusing towards the B and C side, Legion doing the same thing, with both Batchats heading towards the B area but not quite into it. And I think they've just spotted each other. Batchat got shot at but got missed, and I think that's very lucky, because Batchat is a very choosy target always. We have everyone overlooking caps. We have the first shots being fired and damage exchanged, both sides. And I think that they're both going to be in for the long haul, because they're both in pretty good positions. Just pulling back a little bit. The Batchat might be sent to base C soon. A soon, sorry. Okay, then I'm definitely gonna change the settings after this first game. And this is gonna be... Basically they're holding both, but neither have the base, neither have the point advantage. We have some HP on both sides, but it's pretty even. And it's just basically they're all waiting, and that makes sense. Now we have both Batchats going towards base A, and if they cap that, then R2K has a problem, because then the pressure is definitely on them. But we have Object 3 in the 268 that is starting to overlook it. But Nick isn't actually capping base A, and Zerb isn't going for it either. And on the other side, not much has changed. They're both holding, they're exchanging shots everywhere here and there. But not much damage is being done, and now R2K has a slight advantage in HP, but not in anything else, because literally very, very slight. And they can't really do much of anything. And steadily on the other side, HP is being chipped off. But no big shots are being exchanged, no big damages are being done. And I have a feeling most of the damage currently done is probably with HE. I can't really change the sound yet, guys, sorry. Let me just, hang on. Oh. Hopefully this is a bit better. I changed the sound a little bit. And there Zerd took the first shot, and he's lost quite a bit of health now. Whoops is on a long reload, but right now they've both pulled back, and I wonder if anyone is going for any cap anywhere. Because they kind of have to. These are not the Twister Cup winners, These are the guys that are basically... This is Legion 2. This is the second team. So we have Whoopsie still there. We have Zerd still there. They're holding each other off. Then we have a stalemate in the city. Basically, nothing is happening. Just a slight HP exchange here and there. But overall, not much is happening. And they're both holding really well. Now Nick is pulling back. People are getting spotted a little bit. And if only Zerd knew, because I think that then he would go for the cap. But now Nick is already pushing back towards base A. And again, few shots exchanged, not much. The damage is steadily going both ways, and only very, very slightly. And it's quite funny, because this is like, okay, what exactly is happening? And I have a feeling that now we have two WZ113s and Nick in the chat chat that might be starting to push base A. But if they do that, that is very tricky, because we have Zerd spotting them. If they were to actually make a move. And if they do that, that's very tricky, because it means that the other side of the team has a lot less advantage in players and guns. So this is just, well, more than half the battle is already gone. We still have 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. And I'm very curious what will happen now. Because something has to happen, or, well, basically, then the guy with the most HP wins, I believe. I'm not sure if you can actually get a draw. But at some point, someone has to die. And we don't know who that's gonna be. We have Object 3 that is basically helping Zerd. That is now putting back again. And I think RTK has to make a push here. And I think at the same time that Zerd has to move out, and he's actually doing that, which is a good call. And I think that means that we're going to see a push on the other side of the map. That they're moving in. They need to get a base. They need to get a point advantage. Both teams are now capping. And base A is not capped yet. Shots are being fired into base B. They're losing HP. But at the same time, they're about to have two bases. And that will definitely put the pressure on Legion to do something. There are shots being fired. They have two bases now. Basically now all RTK has to do is hold. And it will be Legion that has to push. There's only 1 minute and 40 seconds left. So if they start to push, they have to push fast. We have Winch in the Mouse that is losing quite a bit of HP. He's not a one-shot, but he's losing HP. And basically they have to hold, and Legion has to make that push, because now they're at a definite disadvantage. Even if they have quite a bit more HP. And wow, look at those shots. The owner is in definite trouble there, in a very tricky position. He's gonna get shot so badly. Winch just died. And now Legion has a definite advantage in players and guns. The owner is gonna get rushed now, and he's definitely gonna die. But if the rest of RTK holds, while they have two bases, or at least one working for them. There goes. The owner is almost dead, but not completely. And there he goes. And on the other side, we have the Batchat getting rushed by 3 tanks. And I think that RTK definitely wants that kill, because they need to get the kill. And there goes Blue Steel as well. This is a very tricky game. Time is almost over, but they're losing the point advantage very fast with the people that they're losing. And Nick has made a good call to run back. There's only 2 players left, and now Legion has the point advantage back. And this is not looking good for RTK. Now there's a tiny, tiny, tiny advantage for RTK. But only if they actually survive. And with this rush going on, and Shockish being absolutely slaughtered, that isn't likely to actually happen. And I have a feeling that this is Legion's game for sure. Because there's only 4 seconds left, and Legion has the point advantage. And wow, what a close game that was. That was brutal. Well done by Legion, good push. And I think that if they hadn't been in base B like that, even though they didn't really have the choice, then this would have been their game. Now I'm quickly gonna change the volume. It is very low. Not sure why you barely can hear me then. There we go. I'm gonna change that. Hopefully this will help with the sound. Let me know if you can hear me better now. I've lowered the volume on the other things quite a bit. So hopefully you can hear me better. And I'll lower this just a bit as well. I wonder if we're gonna see something different now, because this was very, very tricky. And we definitely see a different lineup. The Chieftain has been exchanged. Blue Steel is back in the Batchat. We have the 1 Mo in the E3. We have 2 big guns with the E3 and the 268. We have 2 113s. And on the other side, we have the same, well, not the same lineup. We now have an STB, the Bat Chat is gone, and we have 268. That was very, very epic battle. And that's exactly what I meant. This is going to be very interesting night with very interesting gameplay, because it looked like a stalemate so much. I'm also repositioning my microphone a little bit to hopefully get you to hear me better. And we'll see. Here we go. And it's actually, like I said, I'm so nervous for these battles because they're going to be epic and I know they're going to be so exciting. Let's go up. Let's see what's going to happen. We have R2K focusing again. Similar tactics, I believe. But they're focusing more on the middle now with the Foch and Blue Steel actually going towards C. And that is very, very tricky. Because I have a feeling that the STB might be getting absolutely wrecked there. There's blind shots being fired. And Blue Steel got spotted. The Honor did not. But so far, most of R2K's players have been spotted. And that is tricky because it might be giving Legion 2 bases. And Shockers just got shot for quite a bit there. And Zerd is in the IS-4. I think he's going to cap base A. Meanwhile, Legion is capping base C. And that's going to give Legion an early point advantage that their R2K is not going to be happy about. But they're capping together, so they're capping fast. So the point advantage is not that big for Legion. But it is enough if they just hold. So I wonder what they're going to do now. Because something has to happen. And they have to make a push somewhere. And I think Legion is hoping that they get the STB and get free damage. But now Zerd is in a precarious position. He's been spotted. We have the STB over there. The E3 is getting some shots. We have Winch and Blue Steel pushing on the STB but not actually doing any damage yet. The E3 is looking towards them. Legion is pulling back towards their spawn to deal with the flankers. And on the other side we have the 268 and the Foch probably not really getting any shots in. And that is very, very tricky. And Zerd is taking a shot there. He's pulling back. Now we have Legion at a definite advantage, also in position, because it's easier to hold the higher ground than it is to take the higher ground. And I wonder what they're going to do, because the only one that's actually shootable is the STB. But he's in a pretty good hold down position. It will be very hard for them to actually do that. At the same time, we have Blue Steel flanking around, going towards the back. And though I think that's a good call, I don't think Legion is going to get him, let them get away with that. The 113 is getting shot at, but he's not actually getting any damage. R2K lost quite a bit of HP already. And there's only slight damages going on all around. And this is definitely pressure on R2K. They need to... something has to happen. And R2K has to make a push. Because Legion has all the advantages now, both in points, in hit points, and in bases, basically. They both have one base. But it's it will be very tricky for R2K to be able to do anything about this. They put the 268 behind base C, and that's a very smart move, because anyone going there is going to get absolutely shot to hell. And I think that with Blue Steel now spotted, and Nick is actually putting back again so that he can't get shot there for being on high on that rock. But this is tricky. They have to do something, and shots are being exchanged, but not much is happening. And R2K is at a definite disadvantage here. Well done, Legion, for getting them into this position. And now Zerd is pushing up the ramp. We have Winch and Shockish pushing. and now the Honor is following them. They need to make that push. They can't afford not to. But at the same time, it is very risky for them to do so, because Legion is in such good positions. And the Honor is trying to stay unspotted, while trying to get into a position where he can do something. That was a very lucky miss for Winch. And look at Legion pulling back together. And that leaves 2 tanks, and I think that Dana is going to be the preferred target for R2K, possibly. Not entirely sure. But it's going to be very, very tricky to see what happens now, because now they are rushing and they need to kill people in order to win this. But if Legion kills them, then they're in big trouble. And look at this rush. 4 against 2, and even though they're focus firing, this is going to be very tough for R2K. And there goes one on both sides, but now R2K has the point advantage. They kept the base, and they really need to stay alive. And oh my god, look at this, R2K took it back. What the hell? Wow, I did not see that coming, to be honest. Wow, that was amazing. Oh, my heart was beating in my throat. They were at such a disadvantage. It looked like it would be, well, not necessarily an easy win, but it would definitely be a win for Legion 2 there. That was wicked. And you don't even see that yet. You're going to see this in 5 minutes and you're going to be like, what? That was so awesome. Wow. So now we're switching to a whole different map. So that's going to be a different kind of gameplay, different kind of tactics. And I think it's good that the map rotation is every 2 battles. Because then you have, well, not necessarily a disadvantage, but it keeps changing. And you can't get stuck in the same kind of tactics, the same kind of battle plans, basically. You have to switch up what you're doing every time. I'm still blown away by that last battle, to be honest. So in Desert Sands, apparently R2K is going with 3 IS-4s, the Batchat, a 268, and a 183, and a mouse. A 183 I always feel is a bit tricky on this map. It does have a lot of cover, but it also is very easy to kill it when it's starting to peek out in places. And on the other side we have the 113 T62A, an E5, love the E5, a WZ113, an IS-4, a Patton, and another IS-4. And with this setup it would make sense for Legion to focus on the desert side and for R2K to focus on the city side. But again, it wouldn't be the first time that they actually end up doing the exact opposite of what I always expect them to do. So that's going to be fun to watch. And oh my god, that last battle, wow, still, I can't get over that. That was just really, really cool. So the only fast tank on R2K side is Blue Steel in the Batchat. And on the other side we have the Patton and the T62A. So I have a feeling that Blue Steel is not going to go base A, because that would be a bit suicidal. At least not without backup. And indeed he is going back towards the city. And I'm gonna go up again. And we're gonna follow the team. There's some blind shots into the train tracks, which is very clever. Even though no one has been spotted yet. Now they have, but no one had been spotted yet. Legion is actually not going for base A straight away. They're having 1 cap. And Legion is actually going into the desert altogether. And I think that R2K is going to be very cheeky here and see if they can get away with a quick cap of base B. Because if they get that cap, they're at a definite advantage. But Legion isn't stupid, they're getting shots in. But at the same time, with 4 tanks there, it's hard to decap the base. And the Batchat is actually hiding. So he might be getting that base. And after that, oh wow, look at that. Look at the damage that they're getting. But they now have the base and now the Batchat can get out. Winch is going into the buildings. They lost a lot of HP for that base. But if they can get away with that, if they manage to keep that HP limited to what it is now, and just hold in the city, that was a very, very good move of them. But at the same time, they have a few very low HP tanks now. And they're still losing HP. Oh my god, Shockish is at big trouble. And 1 Mo is a one-shot for anyone. And that is very tricky. We have Blue Steel running around. We have the Honor waiting. But Legion can make a very big push here without too much trouble. And they can really hurt RTK basically and take the lives. And Shockish is taking risks that I would not advise doing. On the other hand, we have the IS-4 and Whoopsie both in the IS-4s. With the T-628, some shots getting into Hidde. And basically, I'm waiting for Legion to push, because with so many one-shots, it makes sense for them to push. And I think that they're gonna push Winch, because he's on his own. And they're pulling back across the desert, and I think Winch knows that that's gonna happen. Blue Steel's pulling back towards him. We have the 268 coming as well. And Nick is actually getting shots into the mouse there, and the mouse is taking a position where he can hold as well as he can, and he's pulling back into the buildings because they really have no choice. But at the same time, R2K has a lot of point advantage, and Legion will have to make that push, and they will have to make it quickly. And now this is very good by Legion. Look at that, the mouse is gonna die so badly now. And I think it's just getting shots into anything the R2K can, because with they really need to get some kills. And look at that. Oh wow, Blue still got deleted there. And again, R2K is 2 guns behind. They have to survive in order to win this. But that is going to be very tricky, and they have to make it count. They have to kill. And that's going to be tricky, because now they're not helping each other. And the 113 actually bounced. The 268 is going to die, and this is going to be Legion's game. Wow. I think R2K lost too much HP doing this. They lost too much HP getting base B. And even though that was a very good call, very risky, it was not... it didn't work out, basically. They lost too much HP doing that. And Legion made a great push there, going for the mouse first rather than the one-shots, which was expected. And the mouse was too much alone, so they could get away with it. Well done. And by now, you are seeing the last battle that really surprised you. I'm seeing this battle that really surprised me. So I'm very curious what will happen now, because now the score is 1-2. And oh my god. We have the second battle in Desert Sands now. And I'm really wondering what's gonna happen now, because these battles have been so close. It's been truly amazing. And now we have a minute left. We see a difference in lineup. We have 2 mice on Legion side now, with 3 113s, a Batchat, and a 183. And on the other hand, we have Winch still in the mouse, but we have 2 268s, a Batchat, 2 IS-4s, and a 113. And Winch is actually being changed out for another IS-4. So that's going to be more mobility, less armor. And I don't know what they're going to do. You have 20 seconds left to ready up. Oh, now the 1 Mo is taking the mouse. So we keep the mouse, but different player. And this is going to be, oh my god, it's going to be so wicked. Let's see what happens. And actually, I'm just still blown away from the last 2 battles. Those were just epic both ways. The way that they held, the way that they moved together. The push at exactly the right time from both teams. Wow. So let's see, Blue Steel is pulling back into the town again. R2K is focusing on the town, but we have Object 3 going to the train tracks. We have Dada in the middle on his own. And once the Batchat has been spotted, I have a feeling that he's going to get base A, and right now he's just waiting to see if he can. We have both teams going towards base C for a bit, but not too much. Shock is going to take that, and Legion is going to give him that. And this is very interesting, because now we have the Batchat been spotted, and he got missed by 3 shots there. Did you see that? The tracers. That was a very lucky Batchat. And now RTK has the point advantage. They don't have the HP advantage, but that was an HE shot by the mouse on the IS-4. And now they just have to hold, because the points will suddenly go up, and they have the luxury of holding. But Legion is pulling together quite nicely. We have the Batchat that is now gonna get base A. And overall, this is gonna be another close game, I think. That was the first shot into Hidde. And that was the first shot into the mouse, but that was very tricky showing the flank like that. But you didn't have much choice, because you couldn't peek out too far. But these are both tricky positions for the teams to be in. And it's gonna be... I wonder who's gonna make the push. What's gonna happen. We have the Batchat that is coming here. No one is at the train tracks now, so he can basically freely go there. But he is being watched by the 268, who just missed. Which means that he could go over the train tracks right now, but at least they're holding him off a little bit. Both teams have a base, but RTK has a point advantage. And wow, look at that shot into Hidde there. The 113 is getting shots into ready to boom, and that can be tricky. Also, Lost is AFK is now pushing in, and the 1mo is losing a lot of HP there. But Hidde is steadily being shot down as well, and overall, it's fairly even, if not for the fact that RTK had the base earlier and has an around 100 point advantage, which equals... Ooh, that shot into the mouse. Wow. That equals about 3 tanks. And now they're doing something very clever. They're taking base... Well, they're not taking base C, but they're holding base C. And now Legion is making a push at base C. And this is going to be very tricky. They're losing a lot of health, Legion, doing what they are. And now we have the IS-4 and the 268. We have Blue Steel coming in from behind to deal with the 113s together with the object and the IS-4. RG is dead. Vader is not going to be long behind, I have a feeling, with the tanks in front of him. And now he's almost dead. That shot missed somehow. But this is not looking good for Legion 2 at all. They're losing tanks, and even though they are capping, they're not going to be able to get away with that. We're going to see some nice action here. Hidde finally died. He held out very long there. Well done. And now we have the mouse versus the 113. And this is really... Only lost his AFK is there. And the Batchat. So now with the Batchat in the desert, who's really at a loss there. He's taking shots, but at this time, I don't think he can expect to win unless he gets a very, very epic Koloban off. And I have a feeling he's not going to get that. And there he goes. That tracer came from a very different direction than the actual shot, but okay. That was, wow, wicked. Again. And now we have the last match of this tour. And that's going to be on Canal. And Canal, to be honest, is one of my favorite maps, but I believe that is also one of the harder maps to work because it's a pretty big map. And that's going to make it difficult to work it because you have 4 bases and you can go either which way to get the advantage. And yeah, that's definitely... wow. These matches are just so cool. This is exactly why I love commentating. This is exactly why I love watching these kind of things. It's gonna be awesome. And I can't wait to see what happens in the second tour when we face off against Legion 1. So on RTK's side we now have an IS-4, an STB, a 113, a T-57 Heavy, a Batchat, a 268 and a Grill. And I believe this is one of the first times ever that I see 7 different tanks on the same team. And on the other side we have the Grill, the IS-4, at least one 113, possibly 2. 2 113s there is. An IS-4, an Object 140 and an AMX. So I think that possibly the Batchat and the SCB are gonna take base D. But it very much depends on where Legion is going with this lineup, because they have several tanks that can go either which way. And with 1113 has now been changed for an AMX 50B. And wow, that's gonna be interesting, definitely, because the autoloaders can make such a big difference, but if they don't manage to clip someone, it can really work against them. And this is basically the match. Everything hangs on this match for at least this round of the round robin. And oh my god, it's so exciting. And those two AMXs, if they go to base D and they meet the mediums are in a lot of trouble. But at the same time, I don't know RTK to YOLO and be in a position that they can't pull out of. So I have a feeling that we're going to see some careful gameplay here to see where everyone is going first before anything happens. And here we go. We have the Object 140 going towards base D, but the rest is heading towards base C. And likewise, on RTK's side, we have some going to base B. We have 2 guys going into base D, or towards base D, but not actually capping yet. They're both at an advantage. Well, they're both capping a base, the base close to them, and Blue still actually took a shot going in there. And Zerd is getting shots, and basically RTK is getting shot a lot near base B. So it's going to be hard for them to cap it, especially in the position that they are in now. But they really have to get that base. And they now have to have the base D, so that's definitely giving them an advantage. The Object 140 is being run off. And we have the 113, the Batchat, and the SCB over there. We have the 1 Mo and the 268 down in the ditch, and that is very tricky. Whereas Legion is now pulling back together, and they're heading towards base A, holding base C, getting shots into Zerd at base D, and they're going up the ramp. Those AMXs are probably going to clip Zerd, and Zerd is not going to be able to do anything about it unless he manages to pull back in time and not to not get shot. But this is not looking good for Zerd at all, and I have a feeling that we're going to see the end of Zerd. There he goes. Well done by Legion, and now Legion is taking base A, so they're going to get a definite point advantage as well. RTK is going to have trouble, and they need another base, but they can't get base B because that's being protected. C is too open to easily get, and there's tanks behind there that are waiting for them to do that. And Legion has basically the advantage here. We have the grill near their spawn, which can't really do much of anything. We have the AMXs pulling back, and I think that they can't even cap base B again, because now we have the IS-4 hiding behind there. And oh my god, we have the 268 here, and he's not getting shots in. Legion is howling very nicely, and RTK is definitely at a loss for having lost the gun already and having lost so many points already, because something needs to happen. They need to get that base. They can't afford not to. Blind shots are being taken into base C there, but no one is actually there. And it's going to be very, very tricky for RTK to get out of this pickle. And well played by Legion. They have a very good knack for doing this. And now they are taking base C. And if they can do that, and if they can hold then they might have a chance. But it's very, very tricky, because they are capping. And the Batchat is holding. The Batchat is the one capping now. 268 pulled back. And Boom is in a very precarious position over there. And look at that shot into Whoopsie. That was a big thing. And now RTK has the base advantage, but they definitely don't have the HP advantage. And this is not looking good. Boom went down, and the 1 Mo is losing a lot of HP. He's not in a good position there at all. And that's a very tricky thing. Nick is almost dead. And this is not looking good for RTK. They got the first kill, but Legion has so much more hit points and so much more point advantage that they need to round this up. But Legion also has a gun more, and that's not going to look good. RTK is losing too much HP too quickly here, and it's going to take pretty much a miracle for them to work this around. We have the grill over here, and the other grill from RTK just died, so now it's 3 guns versus 5, and this is not looking good at all for RTK. Well done by Legion for getting that point advantage. for forcing them into positions that they didn't really want to be in. Blue Steel's gonna get murdered now by the Grill because he got shot by the IS-4 and now the Grill can one-shot him. And basically Legion just has to wrap things up now because they're not gonna make it, RTK. And this was so close. Very well done by Legion. This was, wow, wicked gameplay. And now we only have the Blue Steel who's somehow still alive. That's amazing. I didn't expect that. But with the amount of points that Legion already has, it's not going to make a difference. And Blue Steel is running away. And I think he might try to get base, but it doesn't really matter anymore. They have they have definitely the point advantage. They're not going to be able to turn this around. They're not going to be able to cap all the bases, and now they're not going to get any points at all anymore. Wow, these battles were wicked. And there we go, Legion has it. 3-2 for Legion 2. And I think that if they hadn't gone down to the middle, if Boom hadn't been there, then he and the 1-mo would not have been killed. I always dislike the whole idea of being in that trench because it makes you very easy to get shot at from so many different directions. So wow. So I'm just gonna check the score overall. I'm blown away, to be honest, by these battles. So now, oh wow, wait, one. Let me, oh god, I gotta see that. What happened? 3-1 versus Legion 1. This is changing everything. I love that. Look at this. Top 4. It's completely changed around now. No definite, well, not advantage. What domination by either RTK or by Legion 1. I quite like that, to be honest. It's changing around. On the other hand, okay, so we had Legion 2 versus RTK that went to Legion 2. Raid versus Legion that went to Raid. Then we have First that won as well, and that got them a point. And they won versus Easy. And Loka won versus Res. I love this. I actually love that it's just all completely turned around and everyone still has a chance. And look at these scores. Last time Loka was so close to getting 2 points, but it just didn't happen. And now Loka won 3-0 versus Res. Everyone has points now and it's so exciting. This is cool. I'm actually not going to take you into the game because, well, it's only 8 minutes until the next game. And the room will be up in 3 minutes. So I'm just going to open a daily useless container. Because why not? I'm going to get poopsters. And we're going to look at my pretty little haven. Well, I'll talk to you about the matches because these were so close. They were wicked matches. And I'm very curious to see what will happen versus Legion 1. Let me just see if we can see what maps they're on. Guys, you don't have to like everybody, but please refrain from cussing in the chat because there's absolutely no need for that. So let's just see. Now we're gonna get RTK versus Legion 1. Yeah. Of course, that's useless. And it's gonna be on Himmelsdorf and Naval Frontier and Port Bay. And we might just see 5 matches here too, because this is gonna be exciting. Oh, I'm just looking at the chat right now. That was so cool though. I absolutely loved watching those matches, wow. Nice job, Andrew. You're not actually supposed to get more than 1500, but okay. But oh my god, that was so close. I'm actually seeing a lot of questions in the chat, and because you can't actually see it, it's 5 minutes delay. It's really useless for me to reply here, so I'm just gonna type real quickly. You get the coins when the stream stops. And just, wow, just what happened? I'm like, what? But this is exactly, like I said, why I love streaming the tournaments, why I love watching it all, and why I love being able to commentate, because these gameplays are just so much fun. It's gonna be wow. And we're gonna have such... I'm hoping that we're gonna get equally exciting matches next time. So I'm just gonna wait for the tournament room to pop up, which should be like literally any minute now. I'm just gonna look at my pretty haven in the meantime and just still be blown away by those games. They were so close. And like I said, I think that if they hadn't gone into that ditch, it would have been so different. There we go, there's the room. And there's my well, not co-commentator, but fellow commentator Rolling Swarm on the other side. And Himmelsdorf is always such an interesting map. It's a very heavy map generally. It's not an easy map. I don't like it all that much. And we're gonna see what happens. I'm very curious. And we still have to wait 4 minutes. I can't live with this tension, to be honest. It's too exciting, too much going on. Wow. And on RTK side, we see possibly 3 IS4s, but 1 more just unreadied. We have 2 113s, a Foch, and a Mouse. Oh, changes are being made. We have a 268 now. And on Legion side, we have 3 to 4 113s, 2 IS4s, and IS7. That is okay. I've seen a lot of 113s in this tournament so far. And I think it's the combination of slight mobility with relatively troll armor and just everything together. It's a decent tank. It's an all-round tank. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's so favored this tournament around. And I have a feeling that's also going to mean that it's going to get nerfed probably. But we'll see. And now on RTK side we have 2 113s, 2 IS4s, a 268, a Foch, and a Mouse. I think using TDs on this map is always tricky, because even though they can get great damage, it's hard to peek a boom because it's all flat ground and you have to peek around pretty much everything. And yeah, that's probably also one of the reasons why I don't like it all that much. It's basically a holding map. And that's one of the things that I like being able to push. I do like it more with Supremacy than without. In Encounter, it can be a really boring map. But overall, I think, yeah. It's not a typical map. We don't really have any map like it. And that's one of the things that I do like about it. But to play it, I don't really like Himmelsdorf at all. And I'm very curious what we'll end up seeing with these matches. We have the Twister Cup champions from last time. And we have the EU Mobile Masters from this year. Facing off against each other. And that's why I call it the Clash of the Titans. So, oh my god, we still have 1 minute and 45 seconds left. And I'm just like, start already. I want to see what happens. I don't want to wait. It's like the feeling that I would get like when you're at the top of a roller coaster right before you go down. I'm nervous. I'm not even playing and I'm nervous. It's like an excited kind of nervous kind of thing, but still. This is gonna be so cool. And now we're waiting. We can't really do anything. And we can just look. I think this is gonna be a very interesting match to see. Mainly just only already because of the player skill that is facing off against each other with this. The team skill, because these teams have both scored really high in tournaments, have done pretty amazing things. And just, yeah. These are basically the matches that I always feel will be the tiebreaker. Whoever wins from here is likely, not necessarily this round alone, but also the next time that they meet, is likely to be the first in the whole group. In my opinion, that is. "15 seconds left to go, almost there, whoop whoop. Four, 3, 2, 1. I really hope you guys are as excited about this as I am. Not just the matches, but the whole of it, to be honest. And now we're behind the owner in his Foch. I don't really get the Foch. I'm not a big fan of it. I know it does amazing things. I've seen incredible battle results with it. But it's not my kind of tank. And let's go up. Up and away. And let's see what happens. We have RTK focusing on the A side. Together with, on the other side, the 113 and the IS4. The 1 Mo that is going towards the B cap. And basically C and B cap should be free caps for either side. D is completely abandoned by everyone and all of them. And the Foch is now capping. Ooh, they're in trouble because they're... Well, now the rest of RTK is actually arriving, so they should be able to hold. Several missed shots there, no damage done yet. Foch just took slight damage and managed to not cap, which is sad. And some bounces going on all around. This is interesting. This is like... It's not a Turkish shoot, because it doesn't work that, but oh my god, look at the damage being done and the shots being taken. And the Foch is in a lot of trouble where he is right now, and RTK will have to make a different kind of push if they want to survive this. Look at the HP just vanishing all around. And the Honor is gonna die there, and he's gonna die quickly, but not before Oxbow already dies. So Legion is down 1 gun. This is basically everyone is dying, and everyone is shooting, and people are losing a lot of HP. RTK lost 2 guns now. Papa Sten is at a very low HP. RTK lost 3 guns now, and oh my god, this is going to be so tricky for them. Zerd is in a very precarious position as well. That is the same position that the Honor was in right before he died. Papa Sten just died. We have Angie and Gandalf and Eggy here that are very tricky. That's a very big shot into Eggy there, but oh my god, there goes another one. This is just basic brawl, and that is not looking good for RTK, because they are losing way too many guns, and they're not going to be able to finish this in time. And there goes the 1 Mo, and now we only have Winch left in the mouse, and I have a feeling he's not going to be able to carry this. Even though he's a mouse, but Primo spam is real, and it's there for a reason, and he's not going to be able to make this. Even though he's holding longer than I thought he would, this is not going to happen, and this is not going to go well. And there goes Winch. And just look at this. This was full out brawl, and I think that the Honor being that position and then Zerd taking up that same position really did not work. So now we're gonna see what happens next. We still have a match on the Himmelsdorf, and I think that because this was full on brawl, and RTK Legion had better positioning here with staying behind the trains and getting more crossfire into the guys into base A light, namely the Honor and later Zerd. This did not go well at all for RTK. But the focus fire on both sides was pretty good. So we have 1 minute left to wait. We see a slightly different lineup. On RTK side, we now have 2 IS-4s, a 113, an T62A, a Force 268, and another 113. And on Legion side, we see again 4 113s, 2 IS-4s, and an IS-7. Same lineup as they had last match. And again, this is exciting. This match was over so quickly though, and I think that's because they just went head to head and see who won. And with Legion sort of pinching them, yeah, that's what happens then. So 19 seconds left to go. But yeah, this is exactly what I dislike about map Himmelsdorf. You can meet each other head to head like this, and it's just... yeah, it's just not as fun. I like the more tactical matches, where point advantage is being taken and all of that. And we're gonna see what happens. Again, we start with the honor. I don't actually see the corpse of my tank here somewhere. Usually you see it somewhere. Oh no, there it is. There's the Haven. Right before Blue Steel. But let's see what happens this time around. And if we see anything different. And I kind of hope it does. Because I like these teams can be so tactical. It can be such great fun. And now we have Blue Steel going to spot base A. Anyone's going there. But the whole team is going there. So I hope that he's not actually pushing in there. We have the 268 and the Force behind there. Base C is being kept. No one is going for base B, for base D again. And I have a feeling, wow, that's the first shots being landed already. And I think RTK is playing a lot more careful now. And they kind of have to. They have no choice. And Zerd took a shot there. Pulling back a little bit from Gandalf. And again, now the whole team of Legion is pulling back towards A. The whole team of RTK is there as well. And I think this is going to be another brawl battle. Oh, look at that shot into Winch. That was a big hit. And Angie has lost quite a bit of health. Eggy as well. Eggy is losing. He's in a very troubling position. But oh my god, look at the shots going on. I don't like this. Why don't you play tactical? Why does it have to be a brawl? Winch is down to a lot of health already. There's shots going on all around. But the focus fire seems to be gone. And that's very tricky. With Thomas and... well, there goes Winch. And they have to make those kills. They have to take the guns out of the equation. Because look at this. There's quite a few low health tanks there. But they're not dying. And that's not good. People need to die in order for any team to win. And there goes Angie. And I think that Aggie is going to be the next one to go. But there's tanks being lost all around. And it's very tricky. Look at this. Legion has already taken out 3 tanks now. RTK has taken out 2 tanks. Blue Steel is in a lot of trouble where he is. And he's very lucky to survive this if he even manages to do that. And there goes Blue Steel. And now we have 4 guns versus 5 guns. And again, it's a full out brawl. And the focus fire that I'm used to from RTK, to be honest, is not there. The Honor is there. He's now dead. And now it's just Ready to Boom and Object 3 versus 4 Legion guys. And even though they are getting shots in, he's not going to live like that long. And he manages to bounce that, so he's lucky there. But, oh my god, Papa Stan is still alive there. And this is... you can only hold out for so long. And Thomas is going to go turn around. And Ready to Boom is going to kill off... yeah, he's going to die. And now basically it's just who gets behind the object, gets the kill and wins. And again... this is full out brawl, and to be honest, I don't get why they did this. I get why Legion did this, because this worked for them the last time very well, and it worked again for them very well this time. I don't get why R2K went just full on brawl here. And the focus, I don't know where the focus fire was. This is not what I'm used to from them, to be honest. Wow. But now we get a different map, so hopefully we'll see different things. And, yeah, more interesting. Well, to be honest, To me, a brawl battle isn't interesting. That can happen in encounter as well. For me, it's the tactics that I like. It's the point advantage that's being worked on. And now we see a lot of tanks being changed around on RTK's side. On Legion's side, we have the 113, another 113, an IS-7, an IS-4, a 268, a Batchat, and another 113. That 113 is really the tank of the tournament, to be honest. And on the other side, we have two IS-4s, two 113s, an E4, an E5, and a 268. And this is going to be interesting, because if RTK loses any match now, then the game is Legion's, and they get the point. So we're gonna see what happens in like 30 seconds. And in the meantime, I'm gonna have a sip of a drink because my throat is getting dry from talking all this much. These matches are way too exciting for me. And let's see what happens now. We have 3 seconds to 1. Here we go. And this is going to be tricky as well. Naval Frontier is a very tricky map. And a lot depends on where you go and where you happen to meet the enemy. And actually, I'm just artist pounding in my chest already. So I'm gonna go up, up and away. And we're seeing that RTK is focusing fully on base A and probably base B. And Legion is doing the same thing. With first shots being fired, blind shots, because no one is spotted yet. And we have a 113 that is very close to, very forwards there. And shots going on all around. No HP, well, one bit of HP being lost yet. And there we go. That's more HP being lost. And it is very tricky because now Legion is getting a free base. And RTK hasn't. They need to get a base as well if they want to keep the points. And the Batchet is in a very good position there. And if he caps, which he does now, Legion now has the advantage. And RTK needs to make the push and needs to make stuff happen. They are getting more shots in, but so are Legion. So HP wise, it doesn't much matter, but the points will be steadily going up. And now RTK is capping a base, which is clever. If they manage to get away with it, because they might not be able to. And then they still have the points disadvantage, because they will still need to get the other base for points, to be honest. And now everyone is holding. There's some shots going into Boom over there. And they need to make a difference. And right now it's a bit of a stalemate. And again, that's not necessarily bad. But Legion has a definite point advantage, because with this stalemate, Legion would win. So stuff needs to happen. And that was a big shot into Zerd over there. And he bounced or missed that one. We have a bit of a situation going on with 5 tanks versus 3. But if they don't make that push, we have Legion going back. And I think that Legion is going to take base C there. But we're going to look at what is happening over here. Because Thomas is getting shot a lot. We have Leftnut that is taking massive shots there. Wow. And I have a feeling that Leftnut is going to die. Legion is now putting him back. But they've already lost 1 tank, 2 tanks. And a lot of HP. And oh my god, look at this. This is more like the focus fire I'm used to. But Ready to Boom is now in a very precarious position with Stan behind him. And he needs to turn around. The Honor is almost dead, so he needs to turn around as well. And they have the Batchet behind them, so they need to start taking care of him. And Blue Steel is actually turning around to do just that. And I think Oxbow is going to make a run for it now because he's on the long reload. But I'm not sure if Blue Steel is going to let him, but he's going to have to hold him off. We have lots of HP being lost by Legion over there. I'm just following Blue Steel a little bit. He's waiting and he's pulling back so that the Batchet has to make the push. And oh my god, look at this. So much HP being lost already. Papa Stan is being cornered by 3 tanks there. He's not going to make that. And there he goes. And now it's 6-3 to RTK. 6-4. And there goes the Batchat. And now we only have Eggy left. And he just died as well. Well done to RTK for turning this around, because for a minute there it looked like this one was going to Legion as well. So that's definitely a game changer. And we get another battle. So now we luckily only have 2 minutes to go before the next battle. And we see a slightly different lineup on RTK's side with two T62A, two 113s, two T68s, an E5 and an IS-4. They switched out the E4, which I think is a good call, because even though the E4 can pack a wallop, it is a tricky tank. And now some tanks are being switched around still, possibly, or ammo loadout or whatever. Now we have two IS-4s now, and I think IS-4 is a good call on this map. It can be a really good tank. Overall, IS-4s is one of the tanks that I've seen in tournaments a heck lot. Especially in the spring, there were so many IS-4s. But now it's the 113s that dominate, and I think that's mostly because they have an excellent rate of fire as well, together with the relatively good mobility and the relatively good armor. It works. So 30 seconds left. And we're gonna see what happens. On the Legion side, we now have two AMX 50Bs, two IS-7s, an IS-4, a Batchat, and an E100. E100 I always find tricky because with Pramo, it can die pretty easily. But if it does shoot, it packs a wallop. And it does tend to have troll bounces and stuff. So hopefully that will work out for... Well, actually, I'm rooting for both teams here because they're both pretty awesome. And they've both shown quite great gameplay so far. And I really wonder what we're gonna see here. And there's my poor Haven, all dead. For some reason I quite find that funny to just look it up and see where it is. We have Legion pushing towards base C this time. We have R2K doing both a little bit, but more focusing towards the A side. Some blind shots being fired as they go into places that no one is. Now people are starting to get spotted a little bit. We have Oxbow that is cheekily capping base C. And it looks like they're gonna get a free cap. And now Legion has the point advantage, but R2K is capping base A. And shots are being fired both ways, damages are being done. And they need to get the point advantage, they need to get the bases in order to win this basically. We have Papa Sten over here in the E100. We have the Object 268 that has not been spotted yet, but Blue Steel has been. And he shot the ground. We have Thomas that lost quite a bit of HP, but overall it's pretty even. And they both have the points. So it's a slight point advantage towards Legion because they kept earlier. And that's going to be very tricky for them. We have the one Mo now repositioning himself. We have Oxbow shooting in the Batchat. And we have shots going on all around, but not all that much HP being deleted basically. So again, the push is going to have to come from R2K because Legion has the advantage. Something has to happen. And Winch is getting shot there. He's in a bit of a precarious position, especially with Stan being where he is. We have the Batchat and the 26A that are gonna face off now, I think. And we have R2K holding and Legion holding and Thomas being nearly dead. And Zerd has been spotted, but the AMX there is waiting for him. And so is the Batchat, so he can't really do much. Legion is overlooking two bases very well. And they need, basically R2K will need to make the kills in order to change this game around. And now the AMX 50B is pulling back, the Batchat is pulling back. But R2K is pulling back together as well. with 3 tanks over here and 4 over there, and that is tricky because if Legion decides to push, we both know where they're gonna push, and I think Zerd is gonna go now with the backup of the Honor to see if they can cap base C, possibly. Stan keeps getting spotted, but he's not losing much HP, and he's in such a great position over there, it will be very hard for him to lose HP. Zerd is making a little bit of a push, but they're not really going for it yet. And they're taking some shots into the Batchat and the AMX that they... Well, the Batchat they don't know yet, but the AMX is there. And something has to happen. This is a bit of a stalemate. There's 4 minutes left. The points are very alike. But Thomas is on very low health. And if they manage to kill him, that might just be enough. But they shouldn't lose much HP doing that. And Legion knows this. So they're keeping Thomas in a place where he can't get shot. And they need to start making a push. They need to have something happen. Because time is ticking away. There's 3.5 minutes left to go. But points are going up way quicker than that. They need to make the push. They need to have something happen. And R2K I think is getting ready for a push because they have to. Winch is getting shots into him there. And that's not good. And this is, again, way too exciting. This is way too close. Stan is in such a great position over there. And they're all just holding. And now Winch is losing more HP. They need to make a push. Something has to happen. We have Oxplay in the Batchat here. We have Zerd going again towards base C. And now they have to make it happen. They have to go. And now they're starting to move. Blue Steel is taking damage. Oxbow is going in. Zerd is going in as well. And I think Zerd is going to cheekily cap. They have to steal that advantage from Legion. And then they still have to kill a tank in order for it to work. But at least they're keeping... There goes Thomas. And now they just have to hold. They have to get the base and they have to hold. And now if the 1 Mo manages to survive... And Zerd manages to outlive there. He is being covered by the 268. But it's so close now. And now Legion is capping again. But they're also capping base B. And oh my god, this is way too close. But look at this. Oh my god, if they survive this, they should have this. But look at the one-shots that R2K now has. And that is very tricky. If they lose even one, it could go all the way around. And oh my god, look at this. R2K has it. Wow. That push at exactly the right moment. Wow. Oh my god. This is way too close, guys. Why you do this to me? People still dying, so the battle goes on. Because it always goes on for 5 minutes, 5 seconds after the last tank is killed. But R2K has won. And they managed to take this one home. Whew. And now we get Port Bay. And Port Bay is a tricky map as well. But this is basically the battle it's all about. It's whoever wins this gets the point and wins this round robin round. Yeah, let's ready up before I forget that, because otherwise it wouldn't be in the battle. I would definitely hate myself for that. Whew. And in the meantime, sorry, I'm just a little bit, like I said, excited, nervous. This is all too close. On the RTK side, we now have a T62A, a 113, an E3. The Chieftain MK6 is back in the team. Another 113, an Object 140, and an IS-4. And on the other side, we have two 113s, an IS-4, an IS-7, an E5, a Patton, and possibly another IS-4, but Stan has not readied up yet, so I don't know yet. Now he has, so it's definitely IS-4. But Port Bay is such a tricky map, because it all depends on where you go, what team you meet, and who is in what position. Because that's one of the things I like and hate about Port Bay. If you have the position, then you're very likely to carry it home and make it work. If you don't, you're in a lot of trouble. So now we have 10 seconds left before we see the final match of tonight. And it's gonna be so exciting. And here we go. I like how you actually still get a queue even though all 14 players are there. Let's see, where's my haven? There it is. But yeah, just these matches tonight have just been amazing. And I can't wait to see what the rest of the tournament holds in store, because I love these kind of gameplays. I love that it's exciting. I love that it's not predictable. I love that all around people are just getting points. No one is pointless now. And we will see what happens. Meanwhile, both teams are heading towards base C, which is, in my opinion, always the right way to go, because generally positioning on this side of the map is better. Zerd is very lucky there, but Oxbow did get a little bit of damage. But he's now being joined by 2. Oxbow is getting more shots into him. And basically, damage is being done to Legion, but no caps are being gotten yet. And there's some precarious positioning there by Winch, and Winch is paying for it dearly. And he has to pull back. Otherwise, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Especially with... look at that! Winch is gone, almost. And Oxbow is also gone, but I have a feeling that Winch is not going to be able to survive this. I don't know how he managed to survive that. And there Winch goes. But look at this. We enter an all-out brawl. And we have focus fire from both sides. And basically, Blue Steel is not going to survive that. He's actually getting rammed to death. And now Legion has some low health tanks, but they need to take them out very quickly, because those guns are so dangerous. And again, full out brawl is definitely Legion's advantage, because look at this. They need to take out those tanks so fast, and it's already 5 tanks against 3. So that is not looking good for them, especially since they're still being quite aggressive. Papa Stan is still alive somehow. And there goes Papa Stan. But Boom is in a lot of trouble where he is. And they need to rush on over. They need to get those kills. And Boom is now dead. And it will be 2 versus 4. And that's not looking well for them. But they do have the high ground, so they might have a bit of luck with that. But Object 3 is taking damage there. And I have a feeling that this is going to be Legion's game. Because the one-shots are pulling back. And that is the good call to make. And the Honor is pulling in way too far and way too fast. And the Object 3 is actually not helping with the firing. He's actually been capping the base. And there goes the Honor. And the Object 3 did get a shot in, but this is 3 tanks versus 1. And at this level of gameplay, Object 3 is not going to be able to make that. And he's taking shots there, going down. And I have a feeling he might not even be able to kill. Well, he does kill Angie. But he's not going to be able to make this. And there goes Object 3. And this is Legion's point. And no, why would you say that? That's sad. And well done to Legion. And that was basically it for tonight. Those were the games. And they were massive interesting games. I'm just gonna see what the chart says now. Legion 2 also won their next match. Versus Loka 3-0. Let's see how Raid is doing. Two, so that's still going. That will be interesting. We'll see that soon. First scored another point. And they scored another point versus Easy. Oh no, versus Rest, sorry. Versus Rest. Easy is actually still fighting. So now we have this lineup, and the only one that can get a point now is Raid or Easy, and that won't change all that much. But Legion got another point, so Legion now has 3 points, and Legion 2 has 3 points. R2K has 2 points, First has 2 points, Loka and Rest both have a point, and either Easy will get 2 points or Raid will get 3 points. And these were I'm just gonna wait for that last game to see how it ends. But these matches were way too close in my opinion. They were really exciting, and to be honest, I absolutely love that. Because they make great gameplay to commentate on. And it's just... it's so cool to be able to watch this and to be able to commentate on it. And let's see. I really want to know what happened. And the chart is generally pretty slow with loading up. Come on, load already. I want to see. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed these matches with me. I definitely did. It's been absolutely wicked. This is still 2-2, so I'm gonna wait a little bit before I end the stream because I want to know how it ends. And this is just gonna be wow. Hang on, I just gotta do something. Let's see. There, that updated at least. But do we know yet who's won? Raid or Easy? Was it Easy? I'm sorry, I'm tired. It's late. Yeah, Easy. No, it's still 2-2. But that should be ending soon as well because the matches can't go on that long. And I just want to know how it ended. I want to see. So I'm just gonna keep reloading, hoping that it actually updates. Let's see, 3-2 for Raid. So now we have the big scoreboard with Legion 2 having 3 points, Legion having 3 points, R2K having 2 points, Raid having 3 points, First having 2 points, and Easy, Loka and Res all having 1 point. So that's it for tonight. I'm gonna call it a night with that. Thank you both, well, all teams, to be honest, 3 teams that I saw tonight for the absolutely wicked gameplay. It was so close and so exciting to watch. And just, this is the kind of level that I hope to see for the rest of the tournament, regardless of who wins. Of course, I have my own favorites, but regardless of who wins, if this is the level of gameplay that they bring, I don't mind any winner, because was just awesome. So thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a nice night. I'll be back on Sunday, and then it's the next stream, and that was actually the stream that I set last time. Let me just check my schedule, because the next stream is gonna be on Sunday on 8 PM as well. And then we're gonna see if the site actually loads, because that would definitely help. Dun 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 dun. Sorry, my browser is not working with me, so it doesn't load. No, wait. Ugh. Stupid thing. My browser doesn't like me. Anyway, Sunday I'll be back with at 8 PM streaming R2K versus Loka and R2K versus Easy. And like I said, if the gameplay in the tournament is anything like we had tonight, I'm gonna be one very happy commentator. So I hope you guys enjoyed this all. Again, if you have any feedback, feel free to join my Discord channel. There's a link in the description of the video. And I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have about anything. And if you have any feedback for me, things that you feel I should do better or do better, play PC better is probably one of the things. But yeah, at least I didn't have to play tonight because the games were too close together, and it was just, I wouldn't have had the nerves to play, to be honest, literally because they were shot. But yeah, good night all. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. Good night.